Have you ever caught someone staring at you, their gaze lasting just long enough to make you wonder what's going through their mind, yet they never approach? It's a phenomenon as common as it is frustrating, and it leaves many of us questioning, why do they look but never take the next step? Today we're breaking down the psychology of silent admirers, revealing the hidden reasons behind their hesitance and what it truly says about them. No fluff, no surface-level explanations, just the raw truth about why they can't bring themselves to act. Let's get started. 1. Fear of rejection runs deeper than you think. The number one reason people stare but never approach is fear of rejection. It's easy to dismiss this as cowardice, but the reality is much more complex. Rejection isn't just about hearing no, it's about the ego, the bruising of one's self-image, and the potential public embarrassment that comes with taking a risk. Many silent admirers create elaborate fantasies in their minds. In these daydreams, they're confident, charismatic, and irresistible. The moment they approach you, however, reality snaps them out of this dream. What if their words stumble? What if your reaction isn't what they've imagined? The gap between fantasy and reality becomes a chasm too daunting to cross. The truth is, this fear often stems from past experiences. Maybe they've been rejected before, and the memory lingers like a scar. Or perhaps they've watched others get turned down and internalized that fear. While the fear may seem irrational to you, it's paralyzing for them. 2. They're waiting for the perfect moment that never comes. Silent admirers often convince themselves they're waiting for the perfect moment to make their move. They believe there's a golden opportunity where the stars will align, and they'll know exactly what to say and do. The problem? That moment rarely, if ever, arrives. This kind of thinking is rooted in perfectionism and a fear of failure. They overanalyze every detail, your body language, their surroundings, even their own appearance, searching for reassurance that they'll succeed. Ironically, the more they wait, the more pressure they place on themselves, making it even harder to take action. In reality, there is no perfect moment to approach someone. The hesitation is a self-imposed barrier, not a situational one. By the time they realize this, the opportunity has often passed, leaving them with nothing but regret and more hesitation the next time around. 3. They misinterpret your signals. One of the biggest reasons they don't approach is because they're unsure how you feel. Silent admirers often misread or overthink your nonverbal cues. A glance their way might be interpreted as indifference, while a smile could feel ambiguous. Humans are naturally bad at interpreting subtle signals, especially when emotions are involved. Their own insecurities amplify this issue. They might think, she's looking over here, but is it at me or something behind me? Or, that smile was polite, not inviting. This constant second-guessing creates a feedback loop of inaction. The truth is, many silent admirers are looking for an unmistakable green light that says, yes, it's safe to approach. But most people don't communicate that clearly, leaving admirers stuck in a cycle of doubt and indecision. 4. They're battling low self-worth. For some, the reason they don't approach isn't fear of rejection, but a belief that they're simply not good enough. Low self-worth convinces them they don't deserve your attention, let alone a conversation. This can manifest in thoughts like, why would she want to talk to someone like me? Or, she probably already has someone better. These assumptions become self-fulfilling prophecies. Instead of taking a chance, they retreat into their own insecurities, using the act of staring as a passive way of engaging without the risk. Low self-worth often stems from deeper issues like past failures, toxic relationships, or societal pressures. These silent admirers aren't just hesitant. They're convinced they don't stand a chance, no matter how interested you might be. 5. They fear being labeled creepy or pushy. In today's world, many men are hyper-aware of how their actions might be perceived. The fear of being labeled as creepy or overly forward can be enough to keep them rooted in place, even if their intentions are genuine. This fear often arises from witnessing others make poorly timed or inappropriate advances. Silent admirers worry they might come across the same way, so they err on the side of caution. Unfortunately, this caution often turns into complete inaction. The result? They choose the safe option of staring from a distance, hoping you'll somehow notice their interest and make the first move. This fear of misstepping traps them in a cycle of silent admiration, where their intentions remain unspoken and their interest unexplored. 6. Social anxiety keeps them frozen. For some, social anxiety is the main barrier. The idea of approaching someone, even for a casual conversation, feels overwhelming. Social anxiety amplifies the fear of judgment, making even small interactions seem insurmountable. These individuals aren't just nervous, they're battling a mental block that affects every aspect of social interaction. They overanalyze their words, their tone, even the way they're standing. This overthinking creates a paralysis that keeps them from acting, even when the opportunity is right in front of them. Understanding this context doesn't excuse their inaction, but it does explain it. Social anxiety isn't about a lack of interest. It's about an inability to overcome the overwhelming pressure of the moment. 7. They've been burned before. Past experiences can have a powerful influence on behavior. Silent admirers who have been rejected, humiliated, or laughed at in the past are more likely to hold back, even when they're genuinely interested. Rejection leaves scars, especially when it's handled poorly. If someone has been harshly turned down before, they may replay that memory every time they consider approaching someone new. It's not just about avoiding rejection, it's about protecting themselves from reliving that pain. This hesitation often has nothing to do with you and everything to do with their past. Understanding this can help you see their behavior for what it is: a defense mechanism, not a lack of interest. 8. They rely on fantasy over reality. Silent admirers often live in a world of what-ifs. They imagine scenarios where they approach you, say the perfect thing, and everything goes smoothly. These fantasies become a substitute for real action, giving them the illusion of progress without any actual risk. The problem is, fantasy is safe, while reality is uncertain. By staying in their heads, they avoid the possibility of failure. But they also miss out on the opportunity for connection. This reliance on fantasy becomes a trap, keeping them stuck in a cycle of inaction. The more they daydream, the harder it becomes to step into reality. Silent admiration feels easier than taking a risk, even though it leaves them longing for something they'll never have. 9. Cultural or personal beliefs hold them back. Sometimes, cultural or personal beliefs play a role in why someone stares but doesn't approach. They might believe it's inappropriate to make the first move, or worry about how their actions will be perceived by others. For example, in some cultures, traditional gender roles discourage men from approaching women unless there's a clear sign of interest. Similarly, personal upbringing or past experiences might have taught them that making the first move is wrong or disrespectful. These beliefs create internal conflicts, where their desire to approach is overridden by deeply ingrained rules or expectations. While these barriers might seem illogical to you, they're very real to the silent admirer. 10. They're hoping you'll make the first move. Finally, some silent admirers are simply waiting for you to take the lead. Whether it's due to fear, insecurity, or societal pressures, they've convinced themselves it's your responsibility to make the first move. This passive approach often stems from a lack of confidence or a desire to avoid rejection. By waiting for you to act, they eliminate their own risk. However, this often leaves both parties frustrated, as the silent admirer's interest remains unspoken and you're left wondering why they won't approach. If you suspect someone is waiting for you to take the lead, a small gesture, like a smile or a friendly comment, can break the ice. Sometimes all it takes is a little encouragement to help them overcome their hesitation. Silent admirers aren't a mystery when you understand the psychology behind their behavior. From fear of rejection to social anxiety, their hesitation often has more to do with their own struggles than with you. By recognizing these patterns, you can navigate these situations with clarity and maybe even turn a silent admirer into a real connection. If you've made it this far, let us know what you think in the comment section below. For more interesting topics, make sure you watch the recommended video that you see on the screen right now. Thanks for watching.